After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border.
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, I was going to go live this morning, but my granddaughter wore me right out. God love her, little ball of energy. Okay, so we're going to do it this way today. Plus, there's a lot of stuff in here that could be censored, so I want to run it through the YouTube first by uploading it instead of getting a live stream cut in the middle of it. So let's listen to this. Probable Spam said, keep this handy for that moment when David Grohl and the Foo Fighters complain about Trump using their song, There Goes My Hero, because you know they will. They already have, apparently. Trump did buy the right to it. But anyway, let's listen to Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
I think that the thing about music is that music should be available to anybody that wants to hear it. I think that there should be no such thing as a price tag on music. Okay, maybe there's a price tag on the package that you buy. You know, you pay $13 for a CD, you get the artwork, you get the jewel box, you get the friggin' sticker, you get the whole nine, whatever. But I don't want to turn on my fucking radio and have to put a nickel in it to hear Metallica.
I'm a street light shining. I'm a wild light blind and bright, burning off and on.
Like, I don't want to have to pay to hear music. Like, I mean, and you know what? I understand where some people come from when they say Napster is taking money away from me. Napster is hurting my lifestyle, or Napster is, I don't have food in my refrigerator because Napster's got my song all over the internet. No one will buy my demo tape. But you know what? When it's someone that sold 50 million records and they got 50 million fucking dollars and they're bitching about pennies, fuck you, man. You know what? When it's someone that sold 50 million records and they got 50 million fucking dollars and they're bitching about pennies, fuck you, man.
Exactly. David Grohl. Okay, then we got this. Benny Johnson, watch RFK Jr.'s epic entrance to President Trump's rally in Arizona after endorsing Trump. Okay, I think I'm going to have to be careful with this.
I don't think too many of you people have heard of him. He's very low-key. He's a very low-key person, but he's highly respected. He is a great person. I've known him for so long. For the past 16 months, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Goes my hero, watch him as he goes. There goes my hero, he's ordinary. I had to do that, guys. I'm so sorry, but I had to. Because you have to somehow make the thing different to avoid censorship. So I'd have to sing over the top of it. And therefore, it is like fair use. It has been altered. Is that right? I don't know how it works, but that's what I think is happening. So therefore, I had to talk over the top of it. Or sing. Okay. Anyway. Hopefully that didn't sound too bad. Oh my God, it's awful. But anyway, there you go. That's why Foo Fighters are getting upset. Okay, Nick Sautor said, the Foo Fighters lied about Trump not having permission to use My Hero while introducing RFK Jr. Trump should sue these leftist hacks for defamation. The Trump campaign actually did license the song through BMI's Songview service, as confirmed by documents provided to The Independent. The Foo Fighters said they'll be taking action against the campaign and any proceeds will be donated to the Harris campaign. Virtue signalling pieces of crap. Wu-Tang is for Children said, hey, Foo Fighters, did you let Trump use my hero to welcome RFK Jr. on stage? The Foo Fighters have answered back, no. Yeah, the Foo Fighters don't even realise they sold the rights to their music to BMI. So there you go. After they're trying to go after Trump and take him to court. Okay, Dr. Simon Godek said, breaking, Pavel Durov stood up to the EU censorship and now faces false charges of everything from terrorism to child predator, all for protecting free speech. Next in their sights, Elon Musk. The EU is no longer a democracy. It's becoming a dictatorship. Becoming? It might already be one. Russian Market said the girl, Pavel Durov, wanted to show around Paris. She was literally posting every step of Durov online with photos and geolocations. During his trips to Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Azerbaijan, Pavel Durov was accompanied by 24-year-old crypto coach and streamer Yulia Vavilova, who resides in Dubai. She was also with him at the time of his arrest in France. Up until August 24, she'd been actively posting photos on social media from Durov's private jet and various locations where he was present. I'm wondering if she's a honeypot. Yep, the man's downfall. Yep, okay. Man got caught up in a CIA honeypot. That's what I think. Seriously. Cillian said if France wants to target child predators, they should start with First Lady Brigitte Macron. She started dating President Emmanuel Macron when she was 40 and he was just 15. Instead, France is using Telegram owner Pavel Durov as a scapegoat. This is clear double standards. Brigitte Macron says her head was in a mess when she dated future French president when he was 15 and she was 40. Oh my goodness. What would a 15-year-old see in a 40-year-old? Mummy issues? I don't know. Clown World said breaking, Pavel Durov, the founder of Telegram, arrested in France and facing 20 years in jail for refusing to censor his platform. The charges include terrorism, money laundering and more. Looks like they're targeting anyone who defends free speech. That's what it looks like. Cowboy2B said notice that Ingersoll Lockwood changed the rabbit icon. It links to a clip of JFK's Secret Society speech. And the rabbit's got the popcorn with Storm coming on the front. Okay, Pepe Deluxe said one party discusses God, one party discusses darkness. One party promotes God, the other party eliminates God. Symbolism will be their downfall, the great deceivers. When was the last time you witnessed a deep party leader being patriotic, exhibiting national pride or love of country? When was the last time you witnessed a D party leader speak out against the riots and violence in the streets? Oh no, only when it's J6. Not the other fiery, mostly peaceful protests. When was the last time you witnessed a D party leader support those who took an oath to protect and defend? When was the last time you witnessed a D party leader support and call for unity across our nation? All assets deployed, information warfare, infiltration, destruction of America. Have faith in humanity, have faith in yourself, united we stand, God wins. Watching the DNC last night, I noticed their logo. Now, where have I seen that uneven star before? Hiding in plain sight. That's the star. Yes. This year's logo is even worse. Ideological slogan in the late 1950s which called on the Chinese people to build a socialist state. The three red banners, also called the three red flags, consisted of the general line for socialist construction, the Great Leap Forward and the People's Communes. Yeah, it wasn't a great leap forward at all. It was a great leap into God knows poor Chinese people. Rothmus said Democrats are not liberal, they're leftist authoritarians. Three former Democrats who'd had enough. RFK, Jr., Trump and Musk. Donald Trump's back and posting. If you think things are expensive now, they'll get 100 times worse if Kamala gets 4 years as president. Under her plan, Kamala will implement Soviet-style price controls. She will abolish private health care and make California's ridiculous tax policies the law of the land, meaning every American will be taxed up to 80% of their income. If you want more cash and less tax, vote Trump. I agree. Wolf is responding to someone saying, overall, it's been a really peaceful and enjoyable day. Wolf said mostly peaceful arrests and mostly peaceful stabbings at the Notting Hill Carnival. Let's have a look at what's going on there.
Last hour, they've given us an update that they've made 38 arrests and recovered 4 knives. And they said a man believed to be in his 20s has been stabbed. His injuries are not life-threatening. But overall, it's been a really peaceful and enjoyable day for people. Last hour, they've given us...
Overall, it's been a really peaceful and enjoyable day. That's exactly it. Crazy. Okay, Carl Benjamin said 38 arrests and a man stabbed, and this is treated as if it's completely normal. Metropolitan Police in the UK said while the majority at today's event have come to enjoy themselves, a number of people have regrettably have not. Officers have so far made 38 arrests and have recovered 4 knives. A man believed to be in his 20s has been stabbed. His injuries are not life-threatening. Well, that's just another day when you don't vet people coming into your country. Okay, Wu said joy. Strength through joy, you know what it means? It was a German NSDAP-operated leisure organisation in Nazi Germany. It was part of the German Labour Front. Viva Fry said months after publicly announcing investigations into former President Trump, the governor served Twitter Inc. with a warrant seeking private communications sent and received by the former president during his presidency. The government also served a non-disclosure order barring Twitter from notifying the former president or a representative about the warrant. Democrats, weaponising the judicial process to obtain secret court rulings to spy on their political rival while trying to jail their political rivals for democracy and joy. Questions presented months after publicly announcing investigations into former President Donald Trump, the government served Twitter Inc. with a warrant seeking private communications sent and received by the former president during his presidency. The government also served a non-disclosure order barring Twitter from notifying the former president or a representative about the warrant. The courts below rejected Twitter's First Amendment challenge to the non-disclosure order after ordering Twitter to produce the communications without affording the former president an opportunity to assert privilege over them. As a result, for the first time in American history, a court ordered disclosure of presidential communications without notice to the president and without any adjudication of executive privilege. A statement respect denial of rehearing petition. The questions presented were whether an electronic communications service provider can be compelled to produce potentially privilege user communication before adjudication of the provider's First Amendment challenge to a non-disclosure order that prohibits it from notifying the user and before the user had notice and an opportunity to assert privilege. Wow. Where the First Amendment permits great gagging a provider in a highly public investigation where the government does not A, demonstrate that disclosure would jeopardise the investigation's integrity, or B, disprove the workability of a less restrictive alternative, such as disclosure to a representative designated by a former president to assert executive privilege on his behalf. Jeez Louise. And Wokeness said breaking, Secret Service will no longer provide security for RFK Jr., NBC News. See what they do, see what they do. Libs of TikTok said Democrat activists who volunteered at the DNC blast the Democrat Party. Okay, now listen to this lady. We'll put her on full screen.
Okay, I'm gonna get real in this, and it's probably gonna piss some people off, but I'm okay with that. Because if I'm not being honest, then what else am I doing? I just got back from the DNC where I signed up to volunteer. And when I initially had signed up to volunteer, Joe Biden was still the nominee. It wasn't yet Kamala Harris. I've worked in progressive politics for a long time. I have worked for many different Democratic candidates, Senate candidates, House candidates, even some Democratic organizations. And as the years have gone by, I found myself getting more and more disillusioned with the Democratic Party, although until now I've never said that out loud or anywhere public. And I just want to say that by saying this, I'm not necessarily saying that the other party is better. I'm just giving you my experience with working with the Democrats. Throughout my career, I've mostly done campaign fundraising, so I've seen it the way that it works behind the scenes, and I know that candidates spend 8, 9, 10 hours a day just calling donors and begging rich people for money. It's pretty much the only people that they talk to. I mean, of course, sometimes they have to talk to voters, but the majority of their time is just spent calling and begging rich people to give them money for their campaigns. And what this inevitably means is that we don't actually live in a democracy. It's just rich people calling the shots and having the access to talk to the politicians. They're the ones that basically get their ear all day. They're the ones that can help shape and prioritize what the politician actually focuses on. Even the politicians that detest this, that want to get big money out of politics, still have to play this game. They still have to make these calls. They still do the same amount of just calling rich people and begging them for money. And what unfortunately happens once they get into office, if they get into office, is that they soon realize that the money machine is so great and the seduction of power is so immense that they no longer adhere to these values. When I first got into politics, I thought that Democrats were the party of the people. And at the DNC this week, I felt like I was in a building with the most elite and out-of-touch people in the entire world. It very much felt like, let's just have a huge party and forget all of our problems because the vibes are brat. When I was there, I didn't feel any connection to real America or the place that I come from, which is the Midwest, Kansas City, Kansas, and Missouri. I didn't feel any connection to the people that I know right now who are struggling to buy their groceries or to pay their rent. The people who want to know what both candidates are going to do to materially affect change in their lives. And when I was there listening to the speeches, I felt myself feeling mad because I didn't hear anything about the economy. Definitely not in Kamala's speech, and not very much in the others as well. Instead, I heard generic platitudes, things like joy and respect and integrity, and what does that even mean? Let's make the military the most lethal in the world? I thought I was part of the anti-war party. I thought I was part of the party that fought for the underdog, that championed working people. When and how did we just become the party of academia and affluence? Because that's what we are right now. How can we ever say that we're going to fight corporate power or give a voice back to those communities that have been left behind when above the delegates on the floor in levels and levels and rings of suites with donors and corporations that we're literally looking down on the people below from above? That's what Chris Cuomo said, and he's absolutely right. You know, I went to the DNC this year hoping that I would feel reconnected to the Democratic Party, that I would have more of a sense of understanding of Kamala and her candidacy and what she stood for. But instead, I ended up leaving and feeling the opposite, more disconnected and alone than ever. And I don't think I can support Kamala Harris for president. I don't even know if I can call myself a Democrat anymore. I don't know who I'm going to be supporting, but I know it's not her, and for once, I'm not afraid to say it.
Okay. So, they used to be the party that supported the underdog. I know, because I was a lefty way back when I was younger. And they used to be that party that supported the underdog, or at least they used to come across as that party. Now, I would debate rather than affluent, most of them are effluent. Look that word up if you don't know what it means. Timbo said Gerard Rennick quits and LNP launches People's First Party. Why doesn't he just join One Nation? What's going on here? Governments need to get back to service delivery of essential services and standing up for Australians who try and stand up for themselves. As such, I want to draw on my experience to promote a range of policies that will empower Australians and their families to live a prosperous life and provide abundant opportunities for their children. Is Mr. Rennick going to do the same thing? Because he quit the Liberal National Party and launches the People's First Party. Is this going to be the same like RFK Jr. kind of thing here in Australia? He's a good candidate. Maverick Queensland Senator Gerard Rennick has quit the LNP to establish People First Party ahead of the federal election, marking the fourth coalition crossbench deflection since 2022. He narrowly lost pre-selection by 3 votes. I'm behind Senator Rennick, but I do wish that he would have joined One Nation. So there you go. Interesting. But I have a funny feeling that it's going to be our RFK Jr. moment. Maybe. Donald Trump Jr. said Senator J.D. Vance just wrecked Kamala Harris for a failure as border czar, like the first video clip, after NBC tried running cover for her. NBC said she was put in charge of the root causes of migration. And JD, I'll let him say it.
Whatever the number is, that number for the record, they say it's closer to 8 to 10 million.
But I think there are reasons to think that DHS is underestimating. Whatever the real number is, it's way too high, right? It's millions upon millions of illegal immigrants that have come in just since Kamala Harris became the border czar a few years ago.
She was put in charge of the root causes of migration.
Well, the root causes of migration, I would say, Kristen, is that Kamala Harris refuses to do her job as border czar. Whatever the number is,
she didn't do her job as the border czar. Okay, Dutch said Democrats are fighting against a bill in California to make it illegal to buy children for sex. Oh my goodness.
In California, it is currently a misdemeanor to solicit sex from a child. Senate Bill 1414 aims to make this offense a felony. And wouldn't you know, you guys, the one group coming out against this bill are the Democrats claiming to advocate for the LGBTQ plus IA club. You hear what I'm saying? This is not a joke. They are literally coming out to fight against an anti-pedophile bill. SB 1414 is a proposal to make it a felony rather than a misdemeanor to purchase children for sex in California. As introduced, it would also make the crime punishable for up to 4 years in state prison. Woke activist groups loudly and proudly oppose this by claiming that it will harm the LGBTQ and people of color community. Look.
We are particularly concerned that the harsher penalties proposed in this bill will disproportionately impact marginalized communities, especially members of the LGBTQ community, who already suffer from systematic biases within the criminal justice system, particularly when it comes to sexually based offenses. Studies have shown that LGBTQ people, particularly gay and transgendered individuals, are more likely to be charged with sex offenses compared to their heterosexual counterparts.
I just need to know why it's not already a felony to purchase a child for sex in California. What does this say about California lawmakers? And then, in my opinion, and probably yours too, anyone against this bill is a pedophile. They should be labeled a pedophile.
I agree. That is disgusting. Oh my God. And don't forget, they want California law all over America. That is absolutely disgusting. And the person, and she was saying, if I can get it to not play, please. Okay. The LGBTQ plus community are going to be affected more, and minorities, because why? Why are they going to be affected by this pedo bill? And they did say there is a higher instance of sex crimes in the LGBTQ and minority. Wow. I would not be calling myself an LGBTQ, and I know a lot of people who are gay do not want to be part of the LGBTQ, whatever it is. plus, I don't know the letters, the rest of the letters. There's so many letters. There's 2S, 2 spirit something, and is there numbers in there? Well, there is too. Okay. Dr. Simon Godek said a simple question. See, it's confusing. It confuses the hell out of me. But I understand that a lot of them in that community are charged with offences against children. Dr. Simon Godek, a simple question to all mainstream prostitutes. Why has Pavel Durov been arrested on dubious charges of harming people and aiding pedos, while Bill Gates, who's harmed billions with his clot shots and visited Jeffrey's Island 37 times, still walks free? Interesting, isn't it? Steve Mudflat McGrew's Remasculated podcast said, yes, please don't California our US, see? And see that the bills that they won't pass because of LGBTQ, right? Okay, Tiffany Gomez says, in response to the NYT article that was released today in regards to Kamala Harris, this is what the progressive dream really looks like. This is Harris's hometown, Oakland, California. The place she's represented in elected office for 20 years. Please don't California our US. Oh dear. Is that really what it looks like? I'm pretty sure California used to be a beautiful place. Oh my goodness. Doesn't look so beautiful now. So people have actually erected these little things. Little shelters. Wow. Okay, so if you want this all over the US, then yeah, fine. Vote Democrat. Oh dear. Okay. Biznich 1111 said, look what's coming back. Wow, 82 years ago it was buried so it wouldn't be used for ammo in the war. It had been stolen. To prevent it being stolen, they buried it, right? I thought the Liberty Bell was already in DC. No, is that a fake one? 556.5. Is that Liberty Bell, or am I mistaken? Okay. You can tell me down below. Am I mistaken? I thought that was. They didn't want bells because energy, frequency and vibration of the bells help heal people mentally and physically. The deep state, along with the pharmaceutical industry, took over that at that time. Wow. Vibrations of sacred bells ward off spirits as healing. I love the sound of bells. We used to hear it in Ireland when I lived there. Even in Australia, sometimes you'd hear it. Could that explain this? Wow. Maybe that's why there's so much evil. The bells aren't, because we're not ringing the bells. The bells aren't getting rid of the evil. Peter Sweden said, breaking, a 26-year-old Syrian asylum seeker has reportedly been arrested for the mass stabbing attack at a Festival of Diversity in Germany yesterday. Wow, so you got the UK, you got Germany, you got Australia too. We've had stabbings in the city here, where I am. Donald J. Trump said Comrade Kamala will obliterate Social Security and Medicare by giving it away to the millions of illegal immigrants who are infiltrating our country. Okay, while you guys could have Medicare, if illegal immigration actually stopped, right, or at least slowed right down, and someone secured the border, you guys might be able to have some kind of Medicare system. But no, they're going to give it away to all the illegal immigrants who are coming through. So MJ Truth Ultra said there's a plan in place that began when Trump merged the Fed and the Treasury. What exactly that means remains to be seen. But I imagine his plans involve something tangible. What is clear to me, because both sides, good and bad, assuming there are opposing sides, knew that 2024 would be when that 50-year petrodollar agreement would not renew. Hence, both sides knew this exact election is a winner-take-all. to capture and install the next financial system. When the man with the golden hair, the golden buildings, golden escalators, golden furniture, and golden heart tells you that America is on the cusp of a golden age, you better believe him. Q. Question, right? It's a question Q. Do we have the gold? Yes, gold shall destroy the Fed. That was not the Q board. It's, a question as a, Q&A, right? Okay, so there you go. In other words, the federal government is nationalising large swaths of the financial markets. The Fed is providing the money to do it. BlackRock will be doing the trades. The scheme essentially merges the Fed and the Treasury into one organisation. So meet your new Fed chairman, Donald J. Trump. Is BlackRock actually working for Trump now?
America is on the cusp of a new golden age, but we will have the courage to seize it. We're going to take it. We're going to make it a current. We're going to bring this into a golden age like never seen before. Remember?
Okay, just keep that in mind, because what I think is going to happen next is what this Julie Donut said. The dollar must die, and on the Biden watch, be ready. Okay? It's going to happen. It has to. It should have happened back in 2008, by all means. Gunther Eagleman said, why is Pavel Durov arrested, but Mark Zuckerberg continues to live freely? Everyone should be asking this question. Yes, I think we all are, but I think it's about to turn really turn on them. Ian Miles Chong said illegal immigrants will be given priority over English and Scottish people for council housing, is what it sounds like. They shouldn't even be on the waiting list at all. Send them back. Angela Rayner abandons the plan to give priority to British citizens over migrants in council housing waiting list. You sell out. You absolute sell out. Okay. Nick Sautor said new RFK Jr. just told Fox News that he'll be actively campaigning with President Trump and that other Democrats will be coming forward to endorse him. This is huge. MAGA is unifying America. Let's have a listen.
Is it fair to say that you would try to dismantle some of those organizations?
No, I wouldn't dismantle them. I would change the focus, and I would end the corruption. Right now, 75% of FDA's budget is coming from pharmaceutical companies. That is a perverse incentive. In NIH, scientists and officials in NIH who work on drug development, who incubate drugs for the pharmaceutical company, get to collect lifetime royalties from those products. These are regulators. They're supposed to be looking for problems in those products. We have these agencies that have become sock puppets for the industries they're supposed to regulate. So they're not really interested in public health. Everybody, the most profitable thing today in America is a sick child. Everybody's making money. The hospitals are making money. The pharmaceutical companies are making money. Even the insurance companies make money. And we need to end those perverse incentives. We need to get the corruption out of FDA, out of NIH, out of CDC, and make them function as they're supposed to function, which is to protect public health and particularly children's health.
I agree. It's getting better and better, guys, because these two teaming up, RFK Jr. is going to be investigating, I'm very sure, the pharmaceutical industry. Peter Sweden said the Atlantic Ocean is now cooling at a record speed and nobody can find out why. What do you think is the reason? Well, remember when they said that blob heated the Atlantic Ocean? Remember that blob I was reading about the other day? Yes, well, that one, right, was heating up the Atlantic Ocean. Now the Atlantic Ocean is cooling at record speed. Well, it's cooling back down. Whatever heated it up a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, is now cooling back down. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it's cooling back down. They'll report on anything to get people to worry, Maybe they did it because they wanted people to think global warming was happening, so they heated up the ocean somehow. And you had all the animals beaching themselves. That makes a lot of sense too. They're trying to heat the ocean up. Wonder if they got a microwave down there underneath somewhere. Maria Sanapai said another one bites the dust. Hey, Maria, how you going? Sherry said, Jack Smith is licking his wounds tonight. Jack Smith surrenders, won't seek expedited hearings in Trump's case because he's losing. Rowan Dean said another nail in the coffin of the appalling Albanese government. It looks like country libs have won government in the Northern Territory. The Liberals have won in the Northern Territory because no one wants Labor up there. Labor won't even go and visit. Okay, so there you go. Labor's been kicked out in the Northern Territory. It's probably finally about time. But you need someone else good in there. Nan Lee Marie Karasimi said Democrats love the American flag. Now, listen to Free Matt Kim, who calls out gaslighting shapeshifters. Accurate descriptor, Matt. Love it. And it's like a metaphor, not shapeshifters. Not literally shapeshifters, okay?
Am I crazy? Just as recent as a week ago, you knew which side a person was voting based on their love for the American flag. If you flew one in front of your house, you were perceived as a conservative or Trump voter. For years, liberals instead flew other flags. If you were a Democratic establishment supporter, you had pronouns in your bio. Trump supporter, American flag. Just scroll back to 4th of July. All the American flag pics are on conservative pages. This was common knowledge. Everyone knew it to be true. Just drive around your own neighborhood. The house with the American flag was the Trump guy. This week, I watched the gaslighting shapeshifters at the Democratic National Convention try to tell us this wasn't true. American flags placed strategically everywhere. The broadcast constantly showing slow-mo pans of them waving in the air. They want you to forget that over the last 8 years, they were promoting the burning of it. That they took it down to replace with rainbow ones. This was their plan. Take the reality of the last 8 years of our lives and pretend like it never happened. Kamala said once she gets to the White House, she's going to improve the economy. She's going to fix the border. She's going to fight for you. Can someone please tell her she's in the White House right now?
Exactly. I wish someone would tell her she's been in the White House for the last 4 years. Why didn't she do anything then? Lisa said, I'm sure Big Pharma's flipping out. This needs to be done because they are overdoing it with our children. Look back into the 60s and 70s and you'll find so many less of those for babies and children. What are they doing to our children's health? Let's have a listen to this.
That's why today I'm repeating my pledge to establish a panel of top experts working with Bobby to investigate what is causing the decades-long increase in chronic health problems and childhood diseases, including autoimmune disorders, autism, obesity, infertility, and many more. We want every child in America to grow up and to live a long and healthy life. That's why today I'm repeating my...
Well done. Can't wait. Okay, Valerie said amazing how Victoria, still broke and bankrupt, now all of a sudden has millions to splurge on the gay games. You can't... Can this effed up state get any gayer? What on earth is going on here? And it does have music behind it. Hang on a sec, guys. I've got to check. Okay, it kind of looks like a pedo celebration. But anyway, let's have a look.
Officially ditching their bid for the 2026 Commonwealth Games, Victoria is now in the running to host the 2030 Gay Games. According to the Herald Sun, Melbourne has bid to host the 10-day event, which promotes LGBTQIA+ people and sports stars on the international stage. Melbourne will go up against 9 other cities, including Perth, Adelaide, Cape Town and Frankfurt, and make their pitch in Washington in October. Officially ditching their bid for...
Dear God. Can this get any more ridiculous? I remember saying for years, I said the news is going to get so ridiculous that people are going to realise, right? Oh my God. They're saying they're going to do this. Do they have the money? I don't think they do. But anyway, that's what they're promoting. They're promoting the LGBTQ. See? So, yeah, I'd be very wary of that. Steve, 2A, God Family Country, said, yeah, I don't feel sorry for the whiny little bitches. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
We had a week of women getting up there and trying to get us to feel sorry for them. From Michelle Obama, who brought up her mom, who really is suspicious of people who make more money than they need, to Oprah, literally one of the richest people, forget women, one of the richest people on earth, and talk about, in part, the misogyny and racism she's faced from the country that made her a 2.6 billionaire, to Kamala Harris last night, who decided to bring up her mom, who was a PhD from Berkeley, her dad, who was a PhD at Stanford. Would you stop? Because you lived in a duplex when your parents had a divorce does not make you working class. Your parents were double PhDs. You had all the advantages in the world. It's like so over the top when even Oprah can complain about this country and the terrible isms she's faced. We had a week of...
Yes, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the DNC because I don't want to watch any of the evil little people. But I heard a lot about it. And they did. They got up there. I did see bits and pieces of it, as I've got some down in here somewhere. Kathleen Winchell said, lol, the economy is so bad right now, even Joe Biden's job got outsourced to an Indian. Oh, dear. Adnan Al-Dini, PhD, I don't know how to say that. How could anyone believe what this man says after this? James Melville said, under a Labor government, we would freeze energy bills. We wouldn't allow them to go up. Keir Starmer. This was false advertising. Instead, households in Britain will face higher energy bills this winter after Ofgem raised the price cap by 10%. Is anyone surprised? They lie. Keir Starmer promised to keep pensioners safe and warm in the winter, to make life easier for working families, to smash the gangs and reduce immigration using a plan he'd implement immediately, to bring fairness and unity to the UK. So far, he has achieved the polar opposite. When you voted for Labor, but refused to look at the consequences. Exactly, that goes in Australia too. Liner Media said, didn't take that long, the establishment is in panic mode. Daily Mail Online said RFK Jr. accused of being a cocaine dealer at Harvard University as former classmate speaks out. Unless they got proof, I don't believe it. American As said, what the fuck is wrong with Ed Krasenstein? Ed Krasenstein of the Krasenstein brothers. Create a photo. I think this was supposed to be put into Grok. He was asking to create a photo of a creepy sex offender watching Trump give a speech. The post has since been deleted because obviously it was a mistake. But some people believed he was trying to get Grok, which is the AI of Twitter, Elon's AI, to, or whatever it is, to create a photo of a creepy sex offender watching Trump. Gunther Eagleman said, thank you, Rob Schneider. Ian Yeager said, breaking, actor Rob Schneider has just endorsed Donald Trump for president. There you go. Elon Musk said, this is extremely concerning. Wall Street Silver said, something is broken out in our culture. Why is this happening? Medium says, 45% of women estimated to be single and childless by 2030. Falling for UN Agenda 2030, all right. Recent data predicts that 45% of women between ages 25 and 44 will be single and childless by the time 2030 rolls around. The number of single women in the US is expected to rise 1.2% every year. Hello, this is not a woman. Hello? Hello? And hello? I don't think that is either. Okay, anyway, let's not worry about that. They don't know what a woman is. Oh my God. Okay, just said apparently, no, this is all wrong. Roxanne Tickle, a biological male, just won a discrimination case against Giggle for Girls platform designed for women after rightfully being excluded from the app. The judge ruled in favour of Tickle, finding there was an indirect gender identity discrimination. Giggle's founder, Sol Grover, Sol Tweets, was ordered to pay $10,000 and cover legal costs to this freak. The judge's ruling also stated that sex is changeable, implying that gender identity can legally change one's sex. Women will now have to hide or meet in secret to maintain any semblance of a woman-only space, void of AGP freak shows. who can't respect women's only spaces and need to insert themselves into places where they're not wanted. The legal system failed to protect women once again, a trend we're consistently seeing all over the place, disappointing, sickening, yet not surprising. Oh dear God. So the Australian court ruled they don't know what a woman is. And look, seriously, even the names, tickle and giggle. Okay, anyway, let's go back over here. The Conservatives said mainland Australia is no longer all red, and it's the opposite in Australia than it is in the US, okay? Thank God, hopefully this is the first of many dominoes to fall. Unlike the past decade, though, we need to keep the LNP feet to the fire. The Liberal Party, sorry. We don't need any more Labor light versions of the Liberal Party. Jack the Aussie said Labor has been splifficated in the Northern Territory election. The Chief Minister has lost her seat, a swing of plus 20% to the Liberals. It's bad for Labor, very bad. Bring on Queensland. Okay, and did you know that a lot of serial killers served in the military? Apparently. The son of Sam, David Berkowitz. Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. Jeffrey Dahmer. Dennis Nielsen. Dean Corll. Timothy McVeigh. Andre Chikatilo. Dennis Rader. Randy Stephen Kraft. I wonder how many of these people have been falsely accused. Arthur Shawcross. Leonard Lake. Charles I don't know how to say that. Robert Lee Yates. John Allen Muhammad. John Christie. Charles Whitlam. Israel Keyes. Donald Harvey. John Jobert. Joseph Nassau. This looks like a clickbait thing. Whoop. Okay, we also have Holstrong breaking. Albanese to give millions more in aid to Ukraine. Meanwhile, he just increases the fees for nursing home residents. If you don't think he hates Australians with a passion, you're probably a lefty woke communist wanker like him. Like both of them. I don't know, I think Zelensky's working, I don't know. What do you reckon? MAGA War Room said Lady Gaga's dad, President Trump, 75% of their incomes comes from tips. Effectively, Donald Trump is giving them a raise. I think that it's a great thing all round. I think the president is brilliant in throwing this on the table. Wow, Lady Gaga's dad. He likes no tax on tips. Okay, there was an earthquake apparently, preliminary magnitude of 5 at in New South Wales in Denham, which is pretty much the Hunter Valley, I think, is it? Okay, Rob Smith said the CFMEU, which is the union here in Australia, is in administration and hundreds of so-called officials are out of a job. Sucked in, go get a job, you bums. Yep, I agree. And again, Pauline Hanson said transgender woman Roxanne Tickle has won a novel gender identity case brought against a woman's-only social media app and its owner after she was excluded from the platform. After he was excluded. Okay. Fubar said with RFK out of the race and if he endorses Trump and the reps win, will Trump put RFK as the head of the FBI or CIA, and would the assassination of his dad or uncle have any bearing on RFK's executive decision? I would bet the Bush family would be shitting bricks about now. There you go. Wow. Imagine if... Okay. Okay, the top 20 most embarrassing moments from the entire DNC. I can't believe these actually happened. Joe Biden battles the teleprompter and loses.
In its decision overturning Roe v. Wade, as you heard earlier tonight, the United States Supreme Court majority wrote the following, quote, women are not without electoral or political power. No kidding. His decision overturning.
I don't know what he thinks he was talking about. Electrical? Or electoral? Kamala preaches it's outdated, wrong and backward to think more policies create more safety. Meanwhile, her convention looks like this. An unhinged Liberal loses his mind at the mere sight of Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vote for merit and free speech. And you know what? The values this country was founded on. The reality is, vote for whoever you think is going to better do that. So you figure out who that is, and who's going to revive national pride and keep us out of World War III. Figure out who you think is going to be the best person to do that, and whoever that is, that's going to be the right vote for the country.
That we do not have the right to vote. You are a fraud. Coming out here and telling the folks that we can't vote. You would have put to debate us a couple years ago. I think the only thing that was it's and I am deeply disappointed in you. And for you to say that we should have a poll test just like a literacy test is disgusting.
I'll address yours, but then I'm going to let me have this conversation. Okay, thank you.
I don't have the right to vote. Young people are powerful.
Absolutely.
And we're going to show you November 5th.
Absolutely, you have the right to vote. And I encourage everybody here to vote. So what I want to, the only thing that I ask for is they came on the stage and stomped their feet rather than having a conversation. Okay, and the thing I would love is to have an open debate. So you want to come out and do it? You want to come out and have a discussion?
Wow. That was a lot of noise. I don't even know what the hell he was on about. Hang on, where did the rest of them go? That was 18, 19, 20. Where's the rest of it? Hang on, we're going backwards, are we? Jesus Louises. Okay, where were we up to? Here. CNN obliterates the DNC's fear-mongering hoax about Donald Trump and Project 2025 with a devastating fact check.
Listen to this claim from Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware about Project 2025 and former President Trump.
He has, with his friends, said the quiet parts out loud, but not only said them out loud, he wrote a book about it. What's it called? Project 2025.
That is false. Trump did not write Project 2025. The project's big policy document published by the Heritage Foundation think tank lists dozens of people as authors, editors, contributors. Donald Trump is not among them. Listen to this claim from
Okay. Oprah Winfrey says childless cat lady, and CNN cuts to random woman in the crowd who had no idea it was coming.
We just try to do the best we can to save them. And if the place happens to belong to a childless cat lady, we just try to do the best.
Bad camera work. Okay, 15, Jill Biden said she watched Sleepy Joe dig deep into his soul and decided to no longer seek re-election. That's totally how it went down.
And weeks ago, when I saw him dig deep into his soul and decide to no longer seek re-election and endorse Kamala Harris. And weeks ago,
Jake Tapper unexpectedly points out that Tim Walz lied about him and his wife using IVF, sending CNN into a tailspin as they rush to defend him.
Vice President Harris's running mate Tim Walz is set tomorrow night. The campaign is having to clean up some comments he's made about one of the campaign signature issues having to do with reproductive rights. This is what Governor Walz said on MSNBC while criticizing J.D. Vance. Take a listen.
J.D. Vance knows nothing about that, and then he keeps going into all of these things. Today's IVF day. Thank God for IVF. My wife and I have 2 beautiful children.
Now, that's not accurate, right? I mean, it wasn't IVF. It was a different procedure, and his wife, Gwen Walz, the First Lady of Minnesota, is taking care to tell CNN that they actually used a procedure called intrauterine insemination. IUI. It's a process she described as an incredibly personal and difficult experience. They did use fertility treatments. It wasn't IVF.
any woman
Command
who's gone
Sergeant
through,
Major.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. I want to.
Any one of the 1 in 7 women who goes through fertility treatments, IUI is part of the suite of fertility treatments. It's a step below IVF. It's direct insemination versus creating embryos. I think that is a stretch to say that it's not part of the broader fertility treatment.
The way they explain it is, he just talks like how regular people talk.
I mean, my husband wouldn't know the difference.
First of all, my wife did IUI not once but twice, and then we did IVF not once but twice, trying to have a child. And so, as a father of IVF babies,
All I see is panic. 13. Mike Lindell in a disguise without a moustache trolls Harry Sisson. Have you got your vasectomy yet?
Inside the building. I have a question. How does it feel to support a convicted felon? Hey, no, look at this, guys. See how they attack here? Look at they're attacking me on the war room.
Approving
sexual
abuse
of convicted felon.
Harry Sisson, have you gotten your vasectomy yet? I think that's what the audience wants to know.
Have you got your vasectomy yet? Did you get your vasectomy? Were you
New Jersey man had a man dressed up as a woman announce the delegates, then he forgets what he wants to say as he gets caught up in his pronouns and TDS.
My name is Dr. Joey Perella, pronouns she, her, hers. I'm a proud resident of the Garden State. I'm proud to stand with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because they stand with the LGBTQ community.
Okay, guys, and with that, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.